Everybody know I'm about to go on.
Let me do an intro. So, Mr. Al Pete, Al has a really amazing network that he's built up in Jacksonville, and he's been connecting people from the music scene to all kinds of stuff. I don't want to steal Al's thunder, but he's been connecting the entire community. So, Al, we're going to turn it over to you, and if you need to share your screen, feel free to share on the bottom. But the time is yours, man. Tell us what you've been working on and how you've been engaging the local community.
Okay, well, first off, did y'all get the video from me, the pre-recorded?
Yes, that's just a backup though. So this is the live session. So this is you to talk live and then share the screen live.
If you want him to play your pre-record, we could figure it out, but it'll just take a little bit.
Yeah.
We got you live, so just talk about what you built, and then you could even share your screen, show us your website, and kind of what you built.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can get this share screen. Sorry about that, guys. All right, is this cool?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, I'm scared to do the live play.
No, man, you got this, Al. You got it.
All right, cool. So, all right, good day, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. Al Pete. I am, hold on real quick. Let me see. Is it, does this work?
Yeah, perfectly.
Oh,
nice
cool.
Transitions too.
All right, cool. So, I'm Mr. Al Pete, hip hop artist, DJ, curator, all that good stuff from Jacksonville, Florida. I am the co-owner of Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood. Let's get into it. So a little bit about me. I'm like I said, I'm a hip hop artist, podcaster, of course, DJ, a lot of other stuff. I just recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in communication and media from Florida State College at Jacksonville. I put a funny thing down there. I love Thai fried rice and Reese's peanut butter cups, that type of stuff. The who, what, where, when, why, how, and all that stuff. So Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood came about in 2012. We started off as a warehouse event where I got a warehouse and a lot of my friends came, and I used to DJ and just had like a really good time. And that's when the brand kind of got stamped, the whole Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood brand. 2013, I did a sub brand called the Groove Suite, and then Fly Socks and Tees, which I'll speak on both of those later. 2016 was the first episode of the Groove Suite podcast. 2016-19, business and all that stuff. But 2020 is when I created the website, Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood, so mpn-llc.com, and I created a neighborhood podcast network. So starting off with the Groove Suite podcast, that was the first podcast that I did. Funny story, I did not want to be a podcaster. My friend was like, you should do a mix, and we should get together and do a mix. And I'm like, okay. So when we did the mix, we put it out, and then people came back and was like, well, when's the next podcast? And I'm like, it's not a podcast, but I'm glad I took that journey because I learned a lot in this process, and it's been received well. So the niche for the Groove Suite podcast is basically geared to neo soul, hip hop artists. Hip hop music lovers, basically, but that particular genre. So we felt like it wasn't so much of a niche, it wasn't so much of a platform for us to showcase this type of music. So we wanted to kind of expand on that and just kind of highlight that aspect. So a lot of my people that support me, they're music lovers. So just merging into the neo soul part of it was great. So if you see some couple pictures, some local and national pictures. Locally down here, we have MJ Baker. She's a co-owner as well of Miss Peterson's Neighborhood. We did an interview on her on a Groove Suite this season, but I had a chance to interview national people like Eric Robeson, DJ Wallace Sparks from Atlanta, Jacksonville's own Leon Timbo, and we had a listening event. It's October of 2019 with Zoe from Foreign Exchange. So that's what the podcast has been doing. So to go further with that, I started a podcast, Clear Visions. I don't have a picture up or whatever, but 2019, I was like, we need a hub for podcasters. We need a hub for, the people that's in Jacksonville that do podcasts, because I had started meeting more people that do podcasts. So while in school and just, having a vision, of how I would like to see Jacksonville, Florida, and where I would like to see myself at, I started Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood. In 2020, I sit on my patio. It was the day after Martin Luther King birthday, and I put a website together. It took about, in total, maybe a week. And this is the website right here. So basically, we had the website where I would put, I would do like interviews with local musicians around town and just give local musicians, influencers, all that, to give them a platform just to say, hey, so they could put in their media kits, just for people to really get information that um, the local scene, the local musicians and influencers couldn't really reach, like the local papers and stuff like that. So, that's where we started. So the Neighborhood Podcast Network, funny, it started in like 2019. I was helping out a friend. Shouts out to Adriana Sequel for a strong friend check-in. I was helping her. She had a bad situation where she was supposed to record her podcast, and the people fell through. So I was like, well, you just come in my spot and record a podcast. And, and it was funny because I was supposed to be the guest on her show, but I ended up like recording the session or whatnot. So, and I know about a lot of recording because of me being a hip hop artist DJ. So like the audio part, I just use those resources to put into podcasting. So the podcast network came, so I was helping her out. I ended up helping another person, and 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 another person. So, so I have 14 and a half. I say and a half because I haven't fully released my 15th podcast. Well, not 15, but it's probably like my fourth podcast, but I'm working on that. The one at the bottom, it says Color Jacks Blue. That'll be released next week. And that focuses on, I'm with an organization called Color Jacks Blue, and we're going to focus on getting people to vote and bring more awareness to vote for Black voters to go out and really push that narrative or whatever. So this will be definitely a community based podcast. I have a couple of interviews this week, and it's with a lot of officials that's here in Jacksonville, Florida. But the podcast network, all of them are from Jacksonville. It's a variety of people. You have sports, shouts out to Reduced Lunch. You have Reduced Lunch Sports, and you have entertainment with I can't say the name, S Talk No Fragrance. And you got the White Show, which is an introspective type of thought, him and Love Reigns. Then you have my podcast, The Clear Visions, on the side, and then Groove Suite accompanies Sunday Vibes with Christina Curates, and that's about, that just plays music, and it's more so of a radio show, but the Groove Suite is actually the ones where we do interviews and really get into like the podcasting aspect. But I really want to include Sunday Vibes in that as well. We have 21st Men that speaks about masculinity. So nevertheless, we have a whole variety of people from Jacksonville, Florida, and we're just all like learning together. So this was created again in January of 2020, and we're in August. So Fly Socks and Tees annual event. So the one I spoke on. So I have an event here in Jacksonville every summer. It's called Fly Socks and Tees. The premise of it is you just put on a nice novelty t-shirt, and you put on some socks, some funky socks, and you come out and you really have a good time. It started off as my birthday celebration, but it just changed into like this community-based thing. And like a lot of my the influencers, fan supporters, a lot of important people, a lot of cool people just come out and just have a good time. But due to a lot of things, we cannot do it, and you will see it in a minute. But these are old pictures. Just so I can get an idea. That's me DJing on the side, and that's the crowd. So these are some more pictures. That's my picture for this year. Fly Socks and Tees that's in front of my office. I'll explain that later, but these are some more older pictures of Fly Socks and Tees, the crowd, and just to get a vibe of how it goes. So this is Fly Socks and Tees 7. So this is the 7th year that we're supposed to do it. So like for 2 or 3 years, I've been wanting to do a festival. And I was like, a festival conference. I want to change this one night event to conference, maybe like a 2 or 3 day conference, and have like, I see like the Roots Picnic and a lot of other like Essence Festival. I see them do like podcast stages, and I really wanted to like do this podcast stage so people can really see the live action of it. So you can put the voice with the face, et cetera, et cetera. So unfortunately, that wasn't gonna happen because of COVID-19, and I had to share my story about that. I'm trying to see if I can fit it in some kind of way. Oh yeah, before this, so I'll go through this. So Fly Sauce T7, I was like, well, we should just do a virtual event. We'll make it a network. You know, we like really new on making network action. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just run it like a network. So we're gonna take the whole week, from 7 to 10. We're gonna have podcasts stream live via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter /Periscope. So it was held not last week, but the week before that, July 19th through the 26th. And every day, Monday through Friday, even when we started on Sunday and ended it on Saturday, but every day except Saturday, we had like all the podcasts that's on the network do a show live or whatever. Because I really wanted to do like, you know, a live show in like March or April. And these are some of the flyers real quick. But I wanna send a major shout out to the whole the Podfest, the Podfest Expo, because I went in March. So it's funny because like in January to March, before I went to the actual expo in Orlando, like I had been studying podcasting for a minute, like as far as like trying to advance and just really wanting to get around, you know, a bunch of people that I can get a lot of knowledge from. And I do it locally for sure. Some out of state, city or whatnot. But nevertheless, when I went to Podfest, I learned so much, y'all. And I came back ready to go, not knowing that we was actually going through a pandemic. Like we were at the beginning of a pandemic. So it really hurt me that I couldn't do what I really wanted to do when I got back. So me being able to put these podcasts on the platform, on my platform, on a event, Fly Socks and Tees that I do every year, that people like, you know, they ready for it. They every year they like, well, what's the theme? What's the theme? So for me to be able to present the podcast on that level, I felt like that was the best I could do. And I'm even doing this research. I just realized that like it's great what I'm doing. So the number side. So I'll let y'all know now, man. I do not like, I don't like focus on numbers. I really focus on like the content and the product and making sure that I get people's dreams out. Like that's one of my main prides. But due to this event, I mean to this, you know, discussion, um, we'll speak numbers. So the one right here, this is for the month of July. If you see the spike, this is the MPN site based the NPN my site that I built. So we're up to like 1,800 page views. That spike right there is when the whole Fly Sauce and Tees event was going on, because I made a landing page for it and I had the schedules. And of course, when you're at a website, some people gonna explore. So a lot of people went to the actual podcast network page, and you know, I haven't checked those numbers yet, but nevertheless, they was hitting those pages and, you know, at least viewing them. So most of our traffic is from Facebook. Of course, I call Facebook Florida Facebook because, you know, Florida loves Facebook. Simple as that. But you have a lot of mobile on here as well. The numbers that you see right here, it look like it's blocking me, but basically those are the numbers the year to date. But it's up to like 7,800. So it's an average about, you know, 1,000 people a month kind of hitting the site and actually like exploring it and looking like that. So like I said, again, the socials is Facebook, then you got Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm not sure why LinkedIn is on now. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I did post on LinkedIn one time. So when it comes to the monetizing aspect of it, shouts out to my business partner MJ Baker for being instrumental in like getting advertisements from the small businesses. Of course, going through this process, we wanted to showcase. I'm real big on cross promoting. So if I'm on, if I'm at your business, I want to promote you, et cetera, et cetera. So during this network, I want y'all to imagine this going through a whole week of doing these type of events. So like 7 o'clock, it's a podcast, 8 o'clock podcast. Then after that, it's a DJ. And then the next day, it's like a panel discussion podcast. So I wanted people to feel like they was watching like CBS or like BET or something like that. And they, from 7 to 10, you locked in watching TV. So that was the mode. So in my mind, I'm like, we need to have commercials and, of course, commercials, sponsors, ads, and stuff like that. So she was instrumental in getting a wide amount of people like contributing to it. And I'm just very thankful of it. So these are some of the small businesses that contributed to Fly Sauce and Teas on monetizing aspect of it. And, that was it covered a lot of costs. And this is like my first big, like, push to get money, that for lack of a better phrase. So very thankful for them. Learn lessons. So I realized the power that I have to embrace the local music entertainment community with the platform, and more so with podcasting. I do pride on the fact that I feel like podcast is a form of media, and we need to act as such, especially when it comes to the specific topics that we deal with. So when it comes to the podcasting, all the podcasters are very active individually with their brands, and they make sure that they highlight a lot of local businesses, a lot of local musicians, influencers, or whatever. So it keeps that Geo-Local circle going. And I'm glad that we have a platform, a network that if we know how to market and be able to place people in certain parts. Utilize digital methods to bring Jacksonville, Florida to other markets nationally. So, we definitely want to like support and big up Jacksonville, Florida, aka Duval County, for the people that don't know. But we pride on that, and we want to be able to take it to other markets for other people to understand and see what goes on in Jacksonville, because I think people have this small misconception that it's all palm trees and stuff down here and it's Mickey Mouse, and that's cool, but we do have like a ecosystem here that works for the local people. And I know for me personally, I support that. So we can't go anywhere because of COVID-19, so that's what the deal is with that. So we just we using the digital platforms to be able to get out there, and I want to be able to exercise that a lot more, especially with the podcast network. And at the end of the day, just provide a great content for a variety of fans, supporters, and for the newcomers. I really pride on just making sure we're having a great content and being able to get it out as effectively as possible. And I feel like the media, the MPN network, will be that for Jacksonville, Florida. Definitely looking forward to getting big. Like I said, we started in January. We're here in August, and I think the steam that we're doing is like great, especially with a whole pandemic going on. So another thing that I wanted to this is one of my quotes from John Lewis. It's like blocking it, man. I should know about hard, but this is the quote. I live by that quote, and may he rest in peace as well. But I live by that quote, and that helped me try to do a lot of stuff. At the same time, too, places like going to Podfest helped me strengthen my local aspect of it, and being able to get the courage to step out into monetization, and not think that I'm just asking for money, but it's really providing a service. And this is my actual quote too, to the top. Every time you see something to me, I'm always saying to the top. And that's how I feel when I do everything. I try to find a picture of Eddie Murphy when he was saying, "Good morning, my neighbors," but I couldn't. So just imagine him saying, "Good morning, my neighbors." So that concludes my slide. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Any questions, y'all let me know where to find us. It will be at mpn-llc.com/podcasting. On Facebook is Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood. Twitter and Instagram is MPN Management. But yeah, come follow us. We'll be having more and more and more content very soon. We want to close out this year great and be able to, put on for Duval County.
Oh, that was great. Great job with the slides, man. I got to take some notes. You did a great job with the transitions and everything.
Oh, thanks, man.
So a couple of things just to consistency, kind of like your choo-choo train, just keep going and keep learning is one of I think the things. And then you do a really good job of marrying live promotion with your podcasts and vice versa. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, you're correct. Mm-hmm.
Andrew, any questions for Al?
Yeah, so Al, I think you're signed into Whova, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, feel free to answer this in Whova as well. But one of the great live questions I think a lot of people would appreciate you answering this live is, did you find it difficult to branch away from DJing and being an artist into podcasting? And did you receive pushback from the public?
Oh man, that's a great question. So it's funny because I feel like this conversation that we're having right here and the opportunity, which I'm thankful for me to be able to like talk to you guys and show the community that I'm not just a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just a hip hop artist. Granted, I am, and I had no problem. Like I would jump online and I would jump on my turntables and jump on a mic at a heartbeat. That's just my heart. But I do want my community to understand that I do like to that I do other things. So I don't think it's a pushback, but I mean, I think it's a feeling on myself because sometimes I just don't want to be a DJ at the moment. Like my main whole focus is this NPN network and being able to strengthen the podcast network and I really want to grow it because I see so much potential in each podcast, and I individually and collectively. So sometimes I'm just not in that mode to DJ. So it's really a pushback on myself. But I think my community seeing this and my community seeing more of the podcast network action going and the things intertwined with that, I think more people will be like, all right, well, we're going to really take him, like, not saying they don't take me seriously, but to be like, okay, well, he's really serious about it. He's like leveling up.
Well, you're building a media empire within Duval County there, and it'll expand out. So
yeah,
congratulations, Al. What I would tell you is go on that Whova, make sure people have your contact because people are asking questions in the Geo-Local. Al, thanks for being the closing hitter on the Geo-Local panel. This is the first for the whole thing. Yeah, you carried 50 people throughout the whole time, so congratulations.
Oh man, thank you.
You're gonna be doing more presentations for us. Really love how you work the PowerPoint, the transitions, and the TLC you put into it. So we appreciate you, Al.
Listen, I appreciate y'all, man, and good luck with making history. Y'all are doing a great job, man.
Thank you. Yeah, if anyone in Duval, anyone from your community, tell them they want to learn podcasting to join us. So we're now steamrolling. So thank you for being part of the opening act of this entire 2-week process. So we appreciate you, Al.
No problem. Looking forward to it. Y'all have a great one.
All right, congrats.
All right.
That was awesome.